Hello, Weslaco ISD family, and welcome to the WISD podcast studios. I'm Carlos Robledo. Today, we're going to meet a member of our alumni class, someone who has found success both in their education and in their career. Her name is Tatiana Tobar, and you may remember her. She graduated from Weslaco East High School in 2013. Her name back then was Tatiana Science. She was a cheerleader involved in athletics at Weslaco East High School. Tatiana graduated from Weslaco East High School in 2013. She was ranked 10th in her class. From there, she went on to Incarnate Word University. She graduated in 2016 with a degree in biology. She decided to continue her educational career, and she graduated from Incarnate Word Feet School of Pharmacy in 2021. She was very involved while at pharmacy school and was president of the pharmaceutical fraternity, Kappa Psi. Now let's check in with Dr. Tatiana Tobar. Tatiana, how are you doing today?
Good. How are you? My day off, so it's nice.
It's your day off. You're living there in San Antonio. Tell us a little bit about, give us an update. What are you up to these days after you graduated from pharmacy school?
So after pharmacy school, you have to take two different boards exams. So you have to take like your didactic portion, so anything you learned in school, and then your law exam. So I did that. I got licensed in August of 2021. And at the time I was working at Walgreens. It's just not where I really saw myself being long term. But I got an offer to work at University Hospital, which is like a huge hospital here in San Antonio. And I've been there for a little over 3 years. So in the discharge pharmacy, we offer medications to the people that are leaving the hospital. We also do like transplant medications, specialty medications. And then we have people just like the regular population that come pick up, just because we're a government funded hospital. So we get like a lot better pricing than like a regular retail pharmacy, which is really nice because we can offer like a lot of assistance. We don't want to let somebody leave without their medication. We want to make sure they go home, they get everything ready. So I mean, I've been working there the last 3 years. My husband and I just bought a house, so it's super exciting. And yeah, we're just enjoying life right now here in San Antonio.
Absolutely. Congratulations on all
Thank
your
you.
success. You're one of our success stories from WISD, most definitely. So you graduated from in 2016 from Incarnate Word University. You earned your degree in biology. Why did you decide to go to pharmacy school?
So actually, when I was a freshman in high school, I wanted to be an engineer because math was like my thing. Like I love math, right? I mean, you always get to the same answer, so which is pretty cool. But then I took chemistry with Mr. Nelson. So I know he's retired already, but he was a big influence in my career for sure. I told him, I was like, I don't know that I'm going to be happy just doing like something with math like forever. Like, I don't know that I want to go sit at a desk and just do math like all day. And I really enjoyed his class. So I said, is there some kind of way that like a career where they merge, chemistry and they merge math and everything? And he gave me like a list of things to look up and to research and stuff. And pharmacy was actually one of them. And I remember telling my parents like, oh, Mr. Nelson gave me these careers to look at and everything. And our neighbor, I kind of lucked out. Our neighbor had a friend that was a pharmacist. So I got to go shadow him. And I was like, this is exactly like what I'm looking for. It was pretty cool because I was shadowing at a compounding pharmacy where we're actually like making medications and stuff. And that was pretty cool. Just seeing the formulas and things like that. So that was really like where I fell in love with it. And I've always been like, honestly, a big fan of San Antonio. And when I went to this career fair they had at Weslaco East, Incarnate Word was there, and they actually have a pharmacy program there. So that's kind of how I ended up here in San Antonio.
Well, very, very good. Very, very nice. Good that you were able to combine your passions for math and all the different types of sciences together. Tell us a little bit about what type of advice you would have. We have students who watch this program, parents who watch it as well. What advice would you have for someone who would want to follow the same path you have taken and maybe go into pharmacy or something in the sciences?
So for sure, I would say persistence. I didn't actually get into pharmacy school my first time. It took me a couple of attempts. And the way it works with pharmacy is you can do like a 2-year program in undergrad and then go into pharmacy school for 4 years. But I definitely my interview skills were not like the best. And after I interviewed, I met with my interviewer and I was like, my grades are good. Like what is stopping me from getting in? And they basically told me like, your public speaking is not super great. So I kind of took that, and anybody could kind of like crumble with that. It's like, oh, you don't like me, like, but I actually took a bunch of speech classes. They were just extra credits when I was like in undergrad. So I took that. I took public speaking. So pretty much every single week I had a presentation, and that got me like really comfortable with like speaking in front of people. So the third time when I went in, I was like, okay, third time's a charm, like for sure. Like my grades are good, they've improved. Like I retook a couple classes that I could have done a little bit better on. And when I went in, I was so confident in that interview, like, and I know that I did really well. And I actually got in. And I think that if I would have just quit the first time, I don't know what I would be doing. But I definitely for sure am like very, very grateful that I didn't just give up the first time. Because I met like some of my best friends in pharmacy school, and actually met my husband in my class too. So if I would have gotten in the first time, I wouldn't have met him. So it's pretty cool, like the
That's
way
right.
things work
God
out.
had a plan for you, most definitely.
For sure, yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about Weslaco East. You graduated in 2013. You were a cheerleader. You were a varsity captain, I believe, as well. And then not only that, you were on the powerlifting team.
Yes.
And you won third place. You won a bronze medal at state, and you were also part of a state championship team. How did that help? Did that help you in any way in college, having an athletic background?
So for sure, mentally, I think like what I was saying before, like with being persistent, right? Like I was a cheerleader first. I had never lifted weights ever in my life, right? And when I decided to do it, I had to work really hard because it was nothing, you have to work at Forum and you have to work at all these different things. So for sure, it helped with my persistence. And then I think because I was so used to working out, and I learned to use that as an outlet. So when I was in school, we'd be studying all day, and my break was one of my study partners and we would go work out and take a break and like, clear our head mentally, and then come back and we were ready with a fresh start. So that also did really help me. My coaches were great. I have like only the best things to say about like that whole experience with powerlifting and cheerleading, because it really did shape for sure mentally how I went through life and went through school.
Yeah, made you mentally tough, perhaps, a little
Oh,
bit.
yeah.
Definitely. All right, so Weslaco ISD, Weslaco East, talk to me a little bit about maybe how it prepared you for the next chapter of your life. Once you graduated 10th in your class, you decide you're going to Incarnate Word University. How did this institution help you out?
So I think it was really nice that they offered a lot of AP classes and college courses. So I took advantage, and I took honestly most of the ones that I could take. Even though I didn't, I think I got a couple of credits from like the AP exams, but even just taking the classes was like a huge help. So when I went into school, I know, like I mentioned, like my chemistry teacher, he was like awesome. I actually, when I took chemistry in college, it was way easier than when I took it in high school. And same thing when I took like physics. My physics class in college was like way easier than what I took at high school. So it really did prepare me. And I know that they were really hard on us about, acting like college students. They wanted us to be successful and be prepared for college. And I definitely did feel prepared. I think also having like the top 10, right? So they do it like starting, I know they do it now in elementary, which is like, I think is really good. But for us, they started when we were in middle school. And I'm like just kind of like naturally pretty competitive. So I wanted to see myself like up there. And that kind of stayed with me through school and through college, and like wanting to take the hardest classes and wanting to take the hardest professors. So I think that was like a very, very big help once I went to college.
Very nice. And we see your college degrees behind you.
Oh, yeah, in the back.
So you've had some, definitely see the pharmacy degree right in the middle, had to pass the boards and all that stuff. So I know it's challenging. And so what do you attribute your success to? Because it's not easy. We talked about being mentally tough. You had to be academically prepared. Where did you find the strength to continue to power forward?
I think I'm like really hard on myself. I feel like you're your own biggest critic, right? So I always wanted to be the best, and I always wanted to I think I also like I had to learn to like adapt, when you go from regular college to like a graduate degree, it becomes a lot more difficult. I will say the way that I was studying when I was in college was not enough for me to study in pharmacy school. I no longer had to like memorize things. I had to like retain them. So like I had to learn how to adapt and change my study habits to where I wasn't just like memorizing things, because it was now like, life or death right now. If I don't know something, it could affect somebody's life, right? So I had to really, really adapt. So I think I really attribute a lot to like having to know how to be better with change, I would say.
Absolutely.
Sure.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So you're up in San Antonio now, you and your husband, and you get to come home hopefully every once in a while. You're only 4 hours away. So what do you miss about the Valley?
Definitely the family aspect for sure. I wish like I could see my grandparents a lot more, my parents. So that's really nice. And it's also, I miss the food for sure. Every time I go, I have like a list of places that I have to go, and I make my parents take me to every single one. I'm like, I need to go to Cons, I need to go to Arturo's, all my favorite places. So for sure I miss that. And then I have like actually a lot of my friends that we still keep in touch, even as early as kindergarten. And we all live pretty much up here, and we'll kind of arrange a time when we're all in town so we can get together. So just that family aspect is pretty the biggest thing that I miss. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Dr. Tatiana Tobar. Thank you once again for joining us. Congratulations on all your success. You're doing so well. We're very, very proud of you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, we will let you go. Thank you. All right, well, there you have it. That is another WISD success story. We'll see you next time. I'm Carlos Robledo.